something I talk
Mm.
about constantly is batching. So you can have coaching calls, you can have consulting calls, you can answer customer questions asynchronously. Just set aside an afternoon where you're going to answer all of them at the same time. Makes it a lot easier, but it's still really personal. And you can fit it into your schedule so you can have the lifestyle business that you want.
Something I used to do at Sendable was actually having weekly office hours. So I think it was every Thursday for an hour. I had any customer of ours could come in and just meet with me and ask questions. And they just loved that. We had people turning up, speaking to me for an hour about their business thoughts, asking for advice, that kind of thing. So I think with Story Prompt, you can have that always on office hours experience for your
Yeah.
clients and maybe even charge them for it. Maybe you can charge them for your expertise. So you charge for access to you. They can come into your space, post a question, I'm stuck on this thing, or I need help with this, or what's your advice on that? And you can then give them a very thoughtful answer asynchronously. Because when you live, you don't really think thoughtfully. Often you're just on the spot.
Agreed.
But if you take the time, okay, how am I going to answer this thing on video? You can create such quality content for them asynchronously versus being live. And they can then have that clip to use for other things. If they want to come back to it in the future, maybe you want to take that clip of advice you gave to someone and repurpose that on your podcast or in social media channels.
That's a really good
Everything you
point.
create through conversation in our community spaces can be repurposed.
I love that idea. Okay, so steal this idea too, where you have a campfire for, let's say, consultants and coaches. So many of them have podcasts. If you have a campfire where people can leave their questions, you can use that audio for podcast episodes. Let's say you do a bonus episode every month where it's just questions that you've collected and you can answer. Dang, that makes it easy.
If you take it a step further, so the other thing people are doing is they're having on their podcast, they share the link to their space on Story Prompt and inviting their listeners to come meet their guest afterwards.
Ooh,
So you can bring your experts together with your listeners and create your own community just from your audience of listeners.
oh, I love that idea. It's like when you're going to a virtual event and then afterward they're like, "Hey, we're doing a cocktail
That's
hour."
exactly it.
You go there and you
Yeah.
you build the relationship, but it's the virtual version.
Yeah, because they might have questions from the show they want to ask the person that and maybe just I think bringing them together is just so powerful. Bringing those people together is such an easy way to create if you want to create a community from scratch. If you have an audience, this is the easiest way.